Good morning, WUE family. Thank you for joining us this morning. My name is John Carl Martin. I'm happy to be with you. And I'm here joining you with my co-facilitator, Shanaleigh Mejia.
Good morning, everybody. I'm so happy to be here. It's been a while. We're bringing the energy this morning, talking about our desires of the soul. So I am so excited for everyone who is here and present.
Yes, I'm excited also. It's been a while for me. And I'm just happy to be here. I feel the momentum picking up in my body. You'll see me again very shortly, I'm sure. But this morning, we are speaking alignment with soul desires. And for our session this morning, you don't need to have anything in particular. We always recommend that you have your notepads and journals ready to take notes, because I'm pretty sure you might hear something of value. You might want to take a note about it. So welcome to our session, everybody.
Welcome, everybody. Happy Tuesday.
Wake up, everybody. It's time to get up. Wake up, everybody. It's time to get up. Stay woke, stay woke, stay woke. It's time to get up. Stay woke, stay woke, stay woke. It's time to get up. We're healing, we're dealing, we're growing. Together, releasing. We're teaching, we're moving. Together, we're learning, discerning. We're striving. Together, we're leading, connecting, transforming. Together.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
So I am Shanaleigh Mejia. I am a dancer, coach, and educator. And I am here going to share with you how I am pursuing all my soul desires. And I pass it on to my co-host, John.
Good morning, everybody, and thank you, Shanna. My name is John Carl Martin, and I am an artist. I'm an author, a minister, and of last year, I'm a yogi, a healer, an inspirational speaker, and I'm at one with my desires and myself. We're first going to show you an image, our first slide. Thank you, admins, for pulling that slide up. And Shanna, you had a prompt question for the image?
Yes, everyone. So I'd like for you to look at the image and share what comes up with the slogan of the name that you see on the slide, which is alignment with desire of the soul. What do you get from the image when you see that type of connection? For me, what I like about it is the colors and that it's connecting different elements. I got fire, I got the earth, and also air for me, because I saw that the image of where the flower is opening up and the spirit being body is has fire, so it's illuminating what is coming from within, and the hearts that you see around it for me is just the connection into the air that goes out that you produce when you connect when you're in alignment. So that's why I really love this image. What about yourself, John?
Yes, I love this image. I think it's a very beautiful image. And I'm going to invite community to share in the chat what comes up for them also. Um, with this image, the first thing that actually stands out to me is the silhouette with the white light around it, and the mandala, which seems to be behind the silhouette. Those things stand out first. And of course, the lotus flower, which represents peace and groundedness to me. And here, it just seemed like the forefront of where the image of the person may be focused and meditating on. And the mandala, there are a few hearts, there are a few little heart symbols in the mandala shape around the image. And I can see those images as like concepts and areas of your desires, your soul desires. It's radiating from the flower, from the silhouette. And of course, you got the orange and this sunset type colors for the clouds in the background.
Right, yes, that's what I really like, and that is going up into the air. I totally agree. Do we have anyone in the chat that shared already or on Facebook?
All righty, let's see. We have the question. I don't see comments yet. I know folks are still waking up. It's Tuesday morning, the Tuesday morning after MLK Day. Just wondering who else wants to share about what the image is providing for you, stimulating inside of you. Amelia, if you are up, Adam, Abimbola. I love that we have our regulars and some new folk in this space. So please do share. Who wants to share? Raise your digital hand, or you can even unmute. I see a hand. Amelia, go ahead, beloved.
Good morning, everyone. Really what's coming up for me as I see this image, they're definitely the colors of the sunset or sunrise. I'm a sunset sunrise person. And so immediately that just sparked that connection for me with the divine. I loved how the image of the person actually feels like it's being lifted up, like it's ascending upwards and ascending upwards into the soul. So that's what comes up for me as I see this. A sense of connection with the divine.
Awesome, powerful.
Thank Amelia
Thank
for
you.
the sunrise, Amelia, and sunsets that I have shared with her. She got me to fall in love with that. So I really appreciate.
All right, let me see if there's anything else. Claudette said, I see energy moving upward in the body and transmitting also outwardly. Beautiful. All right. Anyone else before we move forward? All right, family. So John Carl, Shauna.
Yeah. And I thank everyone for their shares. It's a personal interpretation, and all shares are welcome and all shares are valued and beautiful. I love this image. I want to say that Shanna chose this image, and when I saw it, I was like, wow, this is a beautiful image. It represents exactly what we are speaking about today. So I have a question for you. Do you know what your soul desires? My question is, do you know what your soul desires? And you can, again, share in the chat, and anyone else who wants to come off mute, anyone who wants to come off mute and share verbally about knowing what their soul desires. And there's a second part to that question. When you're sharing, I want you to consider whether you have been in alignment. Where have you been in alignment in the past week? And since we're only into a couple of weeks of the year, you can consider the entire year that we embarked on so far. Where have you been alignment with your desires, with your soul desires? Because we're speaking not just about desires, but about your soul desires. So do you know what your soul desires?
All right, I'll start us off and just asking folks if you want to share in the chat or raise your digital hand to share verbally, you're welcome to do so. So I closed out the year doing a time is medicine ritual. I always do a closing ritual every year, I think for the last 10 years, with community. And time is medicine was what was downloaded. And my soul, like, even though I hosted it and I've been working on time and relationship with time all year, with the meditation experience provided was that I needed to transform my relationship with nature as a form of time and timekeeping, with the universe. I choose to negotiate with spiritual timing as the lead rather than my clock and the seconds, minutes, hours. That's important, but it's not the most important. My soul desires a realignment with sleep, with movement, with my artistry, and with manifesting love of all kinds in my life. So I'm focusing on that, and I've been doing a really good job since the year started, hanging out and partying with friends, being with community, and just resting. Like, I went to bed before 10 o'clock last night, and that's amazing for me because I just don't do that. And I've been doing it a lot since 2023 started. So that's what my soul craves, and I'm answering and honoring, and I'm complete.
That is so beautiful, Shawnee.
Yeah,
And
that's a great.
I can connect with everything you shared, and it definitely feels like soul desires. I appreciate your share. I'm like to jump to the chat for a little bit, and I see Amelia had shared something there. She says her soul desires to be free of fears, of doubts, to live from a place of love. That's a beautiful sentiment. Thank you, Amelia, for your share.
Yes. Let me see. Claudette, what my soul desire, that's what. Claudette, come off mute and tell us what that means, beloved. Was it what I was sharing or something else? What's that's what? You down to talk to us using your morning voice? Claudette. Let me see if I can invite you to unmute. No pressure, just asking.
I'm coming. It's no
Yay!
pressure. my morning greetings, everybody. My morning finger hit the wrong key, and it went there before I finished.
Oh, it's finished. Okay.
Starting my thought. Wrong key. But what I say, what my soul desires, it's an ongoing. It's ongoing, right? So peace has been one of the things my soul desires, and I am working to recognize, to grow into, settle into peace in all of my relationships. You know, I asked for something. I had a special request of a friend, and I found myself getting a little anxiety about, well, I hope they'll be able to do what I asked. And then I realized peace is peace. So that if they're not able to do it, I'm at peace. If they are able to do it, I'm at peace. And so that is one of the ones that's working with me over the past week, you know, and I'm complete.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you, Claudette, for that share. And what I love about your share, the aspect that you mentioned was that it's ongoing. And we have to recognize that the desires are always ongoing. We expand and our desires expand as we move through our life experience. Okay, I like to share with you the connection of the desires to the mind, the body, and the soul. So I'd like to transition to our next slide, please.
Sure.
And if we can have someone to read this slide, I can read it, but in this spur of the moment, I'd like for someone to come off mute and read this slide for us.
All right. Who feels warmed up to reading? Will lend us your voice and your energy this morning. Raise your digital hand or unmute. I see Abimbola. You down?
Yes.
Wonderful.
The connection between mind, body, and soul This concept of alignment is important for overall well-being. The connection between the mind, body, and soul is the idea, excuse me, that these three aspects of human existence are interrelated and interconnected. The mind is responsible for our thoughts, emotions, and perceptions. The body is our physical form, and the soul is often thought of as the essence of our being, representing our innermost desires and spiritual self. Many ancient cultures, as well as modern spiritual practices, believe that the health of the mind, body, and soul are closely connected, and that when one is out of balance, it can affect the other two. For example, negative thoughts and emotions can manifest in physical symptoms, while neglecting the physical body can affect mental and emotional well-being. And when all three are in balance, it is said that it results in a state of overall well-being and fulfillment.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And let's pay attention to what we hear here, what we hear or pick up from this reading. And I'd like you to also consider how do you show up when you're not in alignment with the three aspects of your being, the mind, body, and soul. So again, I'm going to go back to audience and share with me, how do you show up? How do you see yourself showing up when you are not in alignment? What is the personality traits that come through? What are the habits or activities that you find yourself partaking in when you are not in alignment?
So I'll start us off with some examples. I know when I am not in alignment, I can take things personal. I would want to seek isolation, so may not want to be a part of groups and activities that I'm usually a part of, or not doing my meditation or journal or dance. It's one of my favorite things. And sometimes even that I would want a break or resting. And lastly, at times it could be not eating on time. So then my body is also fatigued. So it breaks down the body once I'm not eating properly, not resting properly, and I'm just not in alignment when those things happen. So for me, I start paying attention whenever, especially lacking of sleep and not eating to time. Of course, that leads to other internal ailments like headaches and aches other places, or pains. So that's also important to pay attention to when you're not in alignment.
Yes, Shana, definitely paying attention to the body, it can let us know when we're not in alignment. If we don't see the signs, you can definitely find it in some of what you mentioned there. So family, share with us. Again, we're going to invite someone to come off mute and speak about their experience of showing up not aligned. So if we can have a volunteer, or we can volunteer.
Voluntelling, right? So this is a great opportunity for you to get closer to how you navigate in your own life regarding mind, body, and spirit balance. So I would love to hear from Florence, if you're down to share. What happens when they're off balance? Oh, I see a hand. Love it. Marilyn, our resident awesome teacher. Come on, lady.
Good morning.
Morning,
It took me a minute to wake up, but I'm in it. So yeah, I know when my body's not aligned, and it comes through my sleep. I tend to lose a lot of sleep. I tend to just stay up and just stare at the walls or the ceiling, and it makes me so tired. But then I feel it like throughout the day when I have to wake up and I'm still tired. I can't really think. I start forgetting things, and it's just overwhelming, and it just takes over my emotions as well, because the lack of sleep just makes me feel so sad. Like I can't contain myself. I can't find happiness in like the little things that I normally do. And for me to get back into that alignment, I do a lot of meditation, a lot of incense or candles and stuff to kind of like refocus my brain. And from last session, I think it was on Thursday, I love that whole, what is it? Ho'opono?
Prayer. Yes.
I'm saying it wrong. But
Pono, pono, pono,
Ho'opono.
Ho'oponopono, right? Okay. So, and
pono is the
that,
short way of saying it.
oh yeah, okay. So thank you for that. But even that, like, and I realize that sometimes I have to switch up what I use for meditation because it becomes redundant and it's so like repetitive that then my mind can't focus. So then I have to find something different to kind of get me into that space where I could just sleep and have dreams and just revitalize my whole mind and body. And I am complete.
Marilyn, can you share before you go what techniques do you use when you say switch up?
Well, just finding a different type of meditation, whether it's just guided, somewhat like different sounds. It depends on my mood. Sometimes I just need somebody to kind of talk me from the breathing into visualizing something that kind of just makes my mind go, and it not necessarily to all my stresses and all my worries throughout the day. Sometimes that's like my main issue, that when I go to bed, I'm like, either I'm thinking about my students or what I have to get done at work or what I have to get done at home. So my mind just goes a million miles per hour. And the guided meditation helps me to just not think of anything, just focus on what's being said. Also, I love different smells. I go from frankincense and myrrh, sage, to like sweet fruit kind of scents. And again, it depends on my mood. If I'm feeling like I need cleansing, I'll do the sage. If I feel like I need something like happy thoughts, I'll do something like apple and cinnamon, which reminds me like of apple pie and things like that. So it like on my mood, I switch up to what I hear, what I smell, whether I lay down or I'm sitting down, or if I do it in the shower where the water soothes me. So it just depends on my mood and what I'm looking for.
Thank you so much. Yes, I definitely agree with that. Mine is something similar to what you said in terms of finding something else that may be different to hear, because sometimes you're right, it does get redundant on what you may be listening to a particular person, and then I would need to go find someone different. So sometimes it could take me an extra 15-20 minutes to really find either a video or a speaker who is speaking to whatever is happening in the moment to kind of work me through those emotions. And another thing that I would do at times too is actually cleaning. Cleaning is like one of my favorite forms of meditation. Especially if I'm in a space where I may not even know what I need to hear in the moment. So just having silence and just cleaning is one of my ways, or putting on something like music and cleaning. But just the fact that the focus is on an activity that I am doing is where it clears my mind and my thoughts. So I thank you for that. Is there anyone else that wanted to share, or is there anything in the chat or on Facebook?
Yeah, we actually have a hand raised. If we can bring Florence into the space.
Florence, unmute yourself, love. Florence, you there? Florence. All right, she may have shifted gears or may not be able to unmute. I've invited, but she hasn't responded. So we may need to move forward.
Okay, no problem.
Okay, can we go to the chat? Is there anything in the chat that is relevant to this segment of our share?
Someone shared their posture changes. That was Sister. Based on the question that was asked about how you show up when there's a shift in mind, body, spirit. Purple said, yes, the same. And Athenia said, me too. I love cleaning, Shanaleigh. It gives me peace and clarity.
Agreed.
You want to
Thank
hear from anybody else? Since Flo didn't, my posture changes. Do you want
you.
Sister to
Sister,
elaborate?
yes, come on through, my sister,
Sister, we want to hear more, love. What's up with everybody? Y'all there? I guess not. There she
Morning.
goes.
Morning.
Good. Hello?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, sorry. All right. Good morning, everyone. So yeah, I just noticed that when I'm not in alignment, my posture is not in alignment. And my posture is very sensitive to whether I'm in alignment or not. It's like an antenna. So my spine will curve, my shoulders will go down, my neck will be down. Uh, and that's really what I notice about myself, that my posture just changes when I'm not in alignment. And I'm complete.
Okay, thank you. I have a question. Are you in tune though with what may be happening present as well? Someone speaking to you, or do you get distracted?
Oh, you mean like what would trigger that?
Yes.
It could be a lot of different things. It could be something someone said. It could be feeling insecure. It could be not showing up the way I want to show up and being disappointed in myself.
Mhm.
Any of those things.
Okay. Yes, those are definitely all signs of pulling away when you're not in alignment. And do you have a technique that you do to get yourself realigned, sister?
Let's see.
But first, can you state, how do you even, I know you say you feel your body, but do you always know when it is happening? When do you catch on that it is happening in terms of the posture change? Because sometimes it's not immediate. For me, at least, it's not immediate sometimes. It may take a while.
Let me see. How do I catch myself? Let's see. I'm gonna have to look at that some more.
Okay.
To figure out how I really like catch myself when I'm in that state.
Mm-hmm. So can you share an example of when you do, what form of alignment do you do? An activity?
So, I'm sorry, I can't really stay on the phone too long right now because of the situation that I'm in right now.
Okay.
So I won't be able to share the way I would love to share. I'm sorry.
Okay, thank you.
Florence is back. And there's also Teresa with her hand up. Do we have time to go here? Or do you want to move forward with the presentation?
We'll go with Florence.
All right, wonderful. Florence, you ready?
Okay, I'll do my best.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, well, this is a subject that is very pertinent at this particular moment because right now I do feel not aligned. As a nurse, I know that balance in your body, they call it homeostasis, is extremely important if you're going to be in health. And I realize that you have to be balanced in every way, in your spirit, all three have to be in balance. Just as your physical body needs to be in homeostasis, all three, your soul, your body, your mind, need to be in balance, in equilibrium. That's what I call it. And at this moment, I really would be asking for some help because I realize if I get into balance, if I'm meditating, like once I start meditating in the mornings, as soon as I get up, like as soon as I awake, I get into balance. But if I stop doing this, then I can become out of balance. And right now, I am feeling out of balance and have been for a while and don't seem like I need help. It just seems I need help. So I'm asking for that help.
What kind of help is it that you would need?
Well, maybe just for some prayer to be a space to be held. I've been in a situation of taking care of an elderly sister, whom I was shocked to find out has dementia, and it's been difficult. And I noticed palpitations, heart, palpitations, and um, fear entering. And I know when fear enters, um, uh, pal- and things like palpitations start, that's anxiety and all of this. And I just am asking for help to be maybe just prayers mainly.
Okay.
Thank you so much for sharing, Florence. One of the first initiatives in receiving help is to know that we do need help and to ask, to verbally ask. But I think that you would find some of the solutions that we will invite you to pay attention to on our session this morning very useful. And thank you for being here in this session and for being so transparent with your share. Anna?
Okay, so thank you so much again, Florence, for that. We have one more person hand up. Was that Teresa?
Yeah. Teresa, you ready?
Peace and blessing, family. Hey, hi, baby girl. I ain't seen you in a long time, so glad to see you. What's up, my baby John? One of the things that when I'm out of line, I have a lot of pain, and so I have to watch my stress level. And just what I've been doing lately is just spending a lot of quiet time, and I've been painting. I
Nice.
started painting on last Saturday, and I was so excited. I painted one picture, then I did another picture. So I did 2 paintings last night, and just been writing different words down and just painting, around the words, and it's just been so relief. But I just have to watch, because it's like I love it so much that I just stayed up so late. So, I was just a little bit on my legs, but I just been saying no to stuff. That's really been helping me, and just being quiet. It's been that's the first time I've ever been this quiet and don't get involved with other people's things and just mind my business.
Okay.
And I feel so much better. I didn't realize how much, I was involved in stuff to the degree that, it was affecting me. And I just feel so peaceful just being to myself and painting. I really love it. And it's just like spirit be speaking like what to paint, and it's just been coming out. I can't wait, to show you the collection. So I'm really excited about it, and just been just being quiet. That's really has helped, and
Okay.
just meditating and just watching what I'm eating. And so I'm thankful, and I love y'all.
Thank you. Love you too. So the
Yeah.
your desire is coming out on the canvas. That's what I'm hearing. So I do want to see that images in the WUE for you to share with us so we can see it as you progress along. So thank you
Yes,
for that.
absolutely. And Teresa, I want to say congratulations on picking up that tool of painting. It is one of the first resources I go to when I don't feel in alignment. And the activity of painting and being creative would definitely get you there. So congratulations. I didn't know you were into art or were expanding our artistic abilities. So I too would love to see the image that you painted last night.
Spirit just said to me, you need to paint. Just put, how you feeling on the paint, and I just did it, and it's just the stuff just coming to me. It's like I don't even know where it came from, John. It just came out of the air. Because I never painted like this ever. I painted like when you go to those sipping paints. I did that a couple of times, but not actually just. I used to love seeing paintings, but for me to just sit on and paint like this now. So, but I'm gonna call you. I'm talk with you about something too about it. So thank you, appreciate it.
Yes, thank you so much, Teresa. And that's exactly what it feels like. Sometimes it feels like it comes from thin air, but the activity is what produces the results. So, you know, we are supposed to be immersed in these activities to align with our soul desires. Thank you so very much, Sister Teresa. Let's move on. Shana, could you take us to our next segment?
Right? Yes. So we are going to talk about identifying the difference between your ego desire and your soul desire. So let me get a little closer here. So so this is how we're going to depict knowing which one that we need to be following, basically. And so with the ego, it talks about what your intention is. If your intention is desire where it needs to feed, if you are feeling self-centered, if you have or in need of external validation, then that's definitely not a desire that you want to go into. However, if it's the soul, which your intention, that is making sure you have self-love, your true purpose, and having core values. And I know we have had a lot of sessions where we had to identify self-love techniques, what is your purpose, and as well as core values. So you have to make sure that the intention is there in aligning with that to make sure that it's the soul that's being fed, and that is what is the fulfillment that's going to come through. Next, we have timing, knowing that if you desire something short term, that means it's going to be immediate, but it's not going to last long. You're going to be looking for another fix, for instance. And for me, the timing is so important because we are used to people who are just on the go, especially if you're in New York, you are always on the go. Time is so precious. And you want things immediately so that you can move on to the next thing. However, clearly this is stating that that's all ego driven with wanting something immediate because it's short term. So that's, for instance, you're drinking, you are doing things that are breaking down your body. It's something that you could do short term, but once again, it's not going to last long. Long term for the soul, your desire, it's something that it may take a little longer for you to achieve. I know that when we put in how do we get back to clarity? How do we get back in alignment with ourselves? It's a little longer than it taking 2 seconds to shift your negative thought process to a positive one. That's something may take a little longer, may take a couple of days for you to shift that mindset. However, that's what the soul desires, for you to kind of just work through the emotion so that you can get back in alignment. And now we have impact. So that's the desire when we have negative emotions such as fears and sense of lack, as what I think Sister shared earlier, and Amelia, about having the fears. That's the ego in terms of what it desires. And so when we are in the state of just being broken down, for instance, as you say, we are fearful, then we're not thinking clearly. The outward exterior of what we're looking for may not be things that is good for us. It's not things that's in alignment with us. We might get ourselves in situations, you get into arguments, you get into situations where it's just impacting more and breaking you down more in terms of your desire. The positive aspect of that, for if it's a soul desire, is making sure that, as Teresa said, you're at peace. You kind of not get into other people's business. That is so much tranquility with just being in your own space, feeling that joy, and it's a fulfillment once it is geared towards what is my truly soul desire. And then authenticity, and that is influenced by expectations. You would do things, for instance, that how am I going to look? Those are like some of the questions. Or I can't do that because someone will perceive me this way. Or I'm going to dress a certain way. I'm going to buy a flashy car or something that is just for others to kind of give you the validation that you're looking for. And that's not feeding the soul. That's all ego based. And if you are looking at it in the term of the soul, you want to be authentic. You want to have the inner truth of who you really are. what is in alignment with what is it that your soul really needs in that moment. I mean, and for me, what I like when I was going through this with the soul desire is that it actually feeds on some of the ego things that you do. So if you are authentic with yourself, if you are positive and you have the self-love, I could still look cute because I know this morning I'm cute. It's self-love. And it will still bring in the other things that I may not be in terms of outward things that may need to take place. And so for me, I love that once you work on and making sure that the goal of your desire is always towards the soul, it is going to work through towards some of the ego things that we may have that's going on. So would anyone like to share what you got in terms of identifying how to making sure that we stay in alignment with the soul and not the ego desires?
All righty. Who's interested in sharing a little bit more about your journey with this? And it requires authenticity and rigorous honesty to share about how ego has taken over and been the focus of your desires rather than your soul. So anybody, I'm looking at Jacqueline. I would love to hear from Imani. Miss you, love. It's probably me that's been missing, not you. But anybody in the space willing to share that we haven't heard from? Purple, Veronica, I see a hand. Purple, all right, beloved, let's do it.
Come on, family.
Hey, I look crazy, but I'm coming on camera.
Yeah.
Thanks, Purple.
We love you anyway.
Can we
Give
bring
me
the
a
slide down? Can we bring the slide down so we can see Purple?
Oh,
let me let her look at it first,
Yeah.
Carl, so she can see.
Okay.
And Purple, you said you're coming on camera. Where you at?
I'm coming. Let me get appropriate.
All right. Got it.
All right. Okay, I'm not doing my hair. That's not going to be appropriate, but
That's all right. We forgive
good
you.
morning.
We forgive you.
All right. So I took a quick glance at the at the slides. This is woof. This is vulnerable. So self-centered, I get guarded, closed up. And when my ego is at play, I overtalk and dominate conversations and I don't listen well. Timing, I actually do a lot of hesitating, procrastination, delaying, some avoiding, rushing. The opposite would be rushing and not present and connected. So just like doing and fast and like kind of like pushing and making it through it real quick. Oh my gosh, the impact. People feel disconnected. I feel disconnected. People feel disconnected. I get, it impacts my health. So I get depleted, exhausted, dehydrated, sad and depressed. The impact on others, I get missing. Or I'm like a punisher, and making myself and others wrong. And I feel like a burden. So that's a part of the reason why I distance. I guess I feel weak too. And then my ego authenticity, my ego, I need help with that one. That was the one where I was like, what is that? What does that mean for my ego? And I appreciate this because I've never looked at my ego authenticity. I don't put those words together.
Okay, so that's when we have expectations from outside, right? What is the expectation that, say, your family may have on you or your work?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
This is conflicting, so I definitely would love to unpack this if it works to do now.
Okay.
I think the expectation is that I'm always light, fun, joyful, charming.
Mhm.
But I'm like, that actually seems more like me, not my ego. But I know that that's how I think I have to show up too. Knowing all reliable, dependable, contributing, supportive, strong. And it's weird because those are the same adjectives that I would use to say like, that are like my soul expressions.
Mhm.
So do I go to where do we go now?
So my question was, what expectations though do you think, for instance, where you may not be in the framework or in alignment with yourself, that the job may have on you that you may not agree with?
Oh, to like do it all, like overwork.
Overwork, okay.
Oh yeah, which to me is like a self-worth thing. It's like not loving myself at all.
Mhm.
Not having healthy boundaries. Having no boundaries. I think my places of employment, how I've shown up in ego would be having no boundaries. Always accessible.
So I was gonna say boundaries. So have you started, well, probably need to work on doing those boundaries on what you can and can't do, creating a time frame to work and not be overworking yourself.
Yes. And fortunately, I'm no longer at that place of employment. So I have a boundary list and a values list now. Because I
Ooh,
think
nice.
coming in like that,
Mhm.
very clear, I think that's going to help a lot. My experience and still some curiosities are the expectation when you're in environments when everyone's overworking. So I did experience setting boundaries, but it was after being an overworker, right? So what that looked like is in that shift, a big resistance and being considered as somebody that pushed back, because I was like, requesting and negotiating different timelines
Mhm.
and others contributing to the task according to their job responsibilities, no longer taking on other people's work and no longer willing to be as generous, right? So that experience of like doing all of these projects and not getting credit, right? Or not getting acknowledged and just watch it go in crazy ways and then keep expecting to do that. So I'm wondering how, I'm still in a curiosity phase and it'll take some time to know, how do you set it up in the beginning? Because I think clear boundaries will be helpful for everybody to know what you're going to do and what you're not going to do. And I'm curious, does it cost you? Right. And then do you not occur as a team player when you're in those type of environments? Because I've done it with my at-large family. Like I'm like, oh, I'm not showing up that way anymore. Oh, I'm not doing that. Like on my maternal side, I used to drive and I used to drive everybody everywhere all of the time, anytime. Right. And then I was just like, no. One day I was like, no. And like literally stood in my no for months, and people like, you're selfish, you're this, you're that, and mad, or just that I'm supposed to show up a certain way. And when I stopped showing up that way, I get the switch.
Yes.
A Dance with the Shadows class, and they said you can infuriate people when you then put in your love and boundaries. So I'm curious what it looks like to start, which means what does it look like to sustain? What does it look like to have grace and mercy? And then communicate and own it and be like, yo, I know I switched it up, but I slipped. And so at work, anybody have anything on that, I want to hear and learn more. And I'm complete.
Thank you. Well, what I wanted to share though is in terms of work, to me, well, for both personal and professional, it's the delivery aspect of how you speak about your boundaries of what you can and cannot do. And to me, my speaking to my supervisors at times was kind of identifying what is a priority. You're giving me multiple projects to do and to complete, and you also want me to help out other departments, that what is the priority and that I need to put in place, because I can only do X, Y, and Z. So to me, that your delivery is the key of how you communicate the boundaries. And yes, it's going to be pushback, but that's where your soul, to me, authenticity comes in, because you know what you can do. And it will, to me, I felt like it was respected actually, as I spoke up. So I think that's one thing that you can put in place from the very beginning. As the tasks are coming to you, you first have to also think about what is it that the time requirement, for instance, and you can also always go back if you can start a project and you see that it is taking longer than expected, you're working overtime or any additional things that's coming up. To me, it's the communication that has to go back. So the lack of boundaries, a lot of times it's the miscommunication or lack of communication that you don't provide when it comes in a professional setting. So like I was just saying, if you know that you started the project and noticing the time frame and it's not going to be complete, but maybe if they gave a deadline, communicating that back to leadership. Like I know that this was the time frame that we gave for it. However, I am experiencing these challenges and I will need additional, either can I have additional support or I will need additional time to complete it. And you give a new deadline by when you can complete it and see how that would work as it comes up. Like I said, different things going to come up as you go. But to me, that's one of the keys, communication and just your delivery of how you say it.
Thank you very much for that. I wrote that down.
And
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Ego, that's my ego. Be definite.
Oh, the ego, got it. And then for the personal, when it comes to the expectations that you can't say no, I think that's just universal. People do not like hearing the word no. I have gotten people, stop talking to me, all kind of things when they don't hear the word no, when they hear the word no. However, it goes back to what we're discussing, right? What does your soul desire? It's about you. And it's the self-love that you have to put in place. Actually, to me, when you are saying no, that is more self-love that you are giving to yourself in that very moment. So they can understand the boundaries, because now if you are overextending yourself, you can't help no one else when you have other things that you may need to complete. And so you are taking yourself out of your way for others. And once again, put that boundary in. I only have this amount of time to do X, Y, and Z. If I need to drop you off somewhere, I have another appointment at this particular time. So I don't have enough time to do so. So the answer is just no. And for me, when it comes to family, there's a first set of people you got to set a lot of boundaries on, because there's a lot of expectations there on always being available and especially doing what is asked without having a voice at times. And so you have to be very strong in your desires to speak that up. But once again, back to delivery. How do you communicate that? How do you deliver that when you are speaking to people? I think it's just
I have to say I'm appreciative, proud, and just love that it worked with families. So it's way easier now. It definitely worked with friends. I have a lot of friends who have great boundary settings, so it's super easy. If anything, they support and encourage me, they remind me when I slip. I think the two areas for me to work on practicing now and growing is work and romantic relationship. Those are the two places where I can see that I have porous boundaries.
Thank you, ladies. 1 second, I'd like to interject. And on the topic of time, I'd like to announce that it is just a minute after 8. And at 8 o'clock hour, I want to thank all of the community members who had been with us this morning and may have to transition to begin the day. Our contact information have been posted in the chat. You can find us there, or you can comment on Facebook and come back to Facebook. Sorry, you can come back to Facebook and watch the replay to see the continuation of our session. And you can also place your comments there for either one of us, and we will reply to you. So thank you so much this morning. And I want to let you both know that I resonate with this conversation. It is beautiful. Thank you. And thank you, Shanna, for so mindfully coaching Purple through this segment.
Yes, thank you both.
Thank you, Purple. Oh, you're complete.
Alrighty. Just want to let you know that there was another hand up. Claudette has her hand up. Do you want to take Claudette's share, or do you want to move forward with what you have planned?
He can come in.
Wait, before Claudette come in, can we read some of what is in the chat?
Yeah, hold on 1 second, family.
Okay.
Claudette, please hold on. We got you. So even going far back to the out of alignment with the mind, body, and soul, Florence said, when I'm in alignment, and she did come off mute, but this is more detailed, I'm encouraging, helping others, but things in perspective, the counselor knowing that my purpose is to heal. I'm happy with myself, even knowing I have work to do on myself. I view myself as a work in progress, but I'm relaxed about that. Adam said, when I'm not in alignment with myself, I do my best to be aware of what I have in front of myself currently, such as my whole healthy functioning, body, nature, and water, and I become grateful for it. Adam, I also listen to sound effects, music, like the sound of waterfalls and the wind. Jackie talked about music helping her. I'm still developing my soundtracks of life. And Teresa just acknowledged Shanaleigh for being beautiful, looking beautiful. And we asked about activities you engage in to manifest your ego's desire. Let's see, we got compliments for purple. And let me go down. Amelia said, ego showed up for me recently when my brother lost his job. My egoic societal family expectation says that he's not being productive if he doesn't. I also find myself, meaning doesn't work. I also find myself treating him from my expectations of what he should be doing while he's in this space. Talking to myself and my coach friend, I accepted my ego was in control. I ended up apologizing to my brother. We had a healing conversation around it and are in a new place. That's really awesome. Acknowledgements of Amelia and Jacqueline saying that Florence, the work is ongoing. Let's see, Athenia saying appreciating the family, but she had to leave. And Teresa, lots of shares. So please read the shares and thanks and gratitude from Purple to Amelia. And let's move forward with Claudette.
Thank you, my sisters and brothers. John, like you, I'm just so in alignment with what Sister Shana was sharing with Purple about the workplace communications, which is where I would like to share some of my experience. This conversation brings up for me when I was in a direct reporting position. And so I was embarrassed, ashamed, afraid that if I were to go to the person to whom I reported and say, this is not manageable, I can't do this, I can't do this, I can't do this, yin, 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 that they would interpret that I was incompetent or I wasn't doing a good enough job. And so I think and that's ego talking, eh? And so I think if we're coming from a soulful position, we are being called to just examine that we're giving it our best and that we have to report out. We have to report out what's really happening before it becomes an avalanche and a real crisis. So I am hoping that this share adds some value to what we're seeking to do particularly in the workplace, but wherever we think that this may best serve. And I'm complete, my brothers and sisters.
Thank you. Yes, that was very helpful.
Yeah, thank you, Claudette. That was powerful. And being able to recognize, that's the step towards healing, is being able to recognize when your talk or activities are coming from ego versus soul. So congratulations on recognizing that.
All righty. So next up, Shanaleigh, you ready to move into how you keep your soul nourished and your desires?
Yes. So we are going to move into techniques and activities that John and I have done over time that kind of had us in alignment with our mind, body, and soul. So here are a few pictures. For me, nature has become so important. And I've started a lot of traveling. And I always try to do something near a water, or as Amelia shared earlier, sunsets and sunrises. So for me, that picture is great because it was at a lake. I actually did some activities on the lake by going paddling, so that was fun as well. And as I mentioned earlier, I am a dancer. So for me, any dancing always get me back in alignment. This is the company that I'm with called Mfomula, which we do Congolese style African dance. And a lot of the movements are grounded movements. So I am always in alignment and element with this. It takes me out of any stress. I can just detach and be in those drums, especially when you hear the drums, and just being in community with either the class or with my group members. And can we do a video I have to share with you all on being in alignment? I ended up doing a video on by a Congolese artist. So I was surprised that that opportunity came up, that us, the members of the dance company, decided to put that together. So I'm going to share a brief clip from that. Shawnee, are you ready to show the video?
Yes, hold on one second.
Okay, so that was a great moment to put that together with my Dancing Stars. And that actually led to us going to Congo in August, and I spent an entire month just experiencing the culture and expanding on my dance education. So that was such an amazing trip. So that's a whole nother segment. So there's another clip from that. And this clip that's coming up is actually, once again, when you're mind, body, and soul, I did not know that we were going to end up having the opportunity to asked to dance for the Independence Day parade that they were going to have. And so this clip that's shown is actually with a dance company that is out there. And we were able to dance as a group, and they were having a marathon. So you actually had the president of the country there present. So this is a short clip that I had to take because we couldn't take too much videos, but it's a partner. This is called a Bakongo, and this is a partner dance where the male comes and pulls the female out to dance with him, and you dance. Basically, the drum leads and tells you how to do the movement, and then your partner extract you back. But this is a funny clip because this gentleman kept pulling me by my waist. So let's get into it. Yeah, so he was just having fun dragging me all over. But that was a beautiful experience, as I mentioned. A lot of unexpected things happened on this trip, including doing another video with an artist that locally, that's, well, not locally, he's from Paris, but did another video while I was there as well, and did a promo in English as well. The opportunity came up. And then now I'm going to show a video of one of the dance classes that we had. And what was special about this particular class is because we had teachers from that are Congolese. However, they live in Paris and they are in California and in New York. And so they all were there in Congo to be a part of this dance camp to teach us. And I was so excited to have drummers and teachers from who I've seen before and some that I just met for the first time. And we did the class with some local dance students as well. So this was a great moment. Okay, so that is just a little share about me in terms of the practices that I do so that I can stay in mind, body, and soul. My dancing is first, and then my meditation and writing and just being in community with my loved ones is so important for me to kind of always be in that self-awareness. And I thoroughly enjoyed all the travels that I've done throughout the year, from traveling across the country and visiting family and friends to kind of bring in to always be having my desires come through. And like I said, it led to so many opportunities by just being in that kind of spirit where you're just saying yes to the things that were coming up. And what I was saying earlier when I said that when you feed your soul desire, it brings other things, because when I'm just in alignment and people can see that I am happy and I love the things that I do, it inspires others. And then they want to include you in their projects and their activities that they're doing. So you just need to be you and be peaceful. And I will pass it on to John.
All right. And before we move to John, let me see if there are any comments for you to hear and experience. So there's clapping and hearts. That's awesome. Love the outfit. Need one. Jackie, that's Teresa. Yeah, just fire and heart for the video. Purple, I love it. Thank you for sharing. I still cannot see it. Jackie, if you're on your phone, you have to swipe left in order to see the videos. I'm sorry, swipe right in order to see the videos or anything that we display. Got that. Be you and be peaceful, Imani said, with hearts. All right, and next up is our brother John. So let's see how he aligns his soul.
Well, first I want to say, Shanna, those were some beautiful, soulful activities you shared with us. And I definitely felt the soul connection in watching you in your activities. Okay, family, well, my soulful activities has a lot to do with creativity and being active. So here is me with my bicycle, and bicycle is not only a soulful activity for me, it also keeps me healthy, which is one of the main reasons that I do it, is for connecting with my health. And as I grow older, I realized that riding my bike is actually saving my life. And when I'm riding my bike, I connect with nature. I connect with the nature around me as I travel on my bike paths on my journey. And those who cycle, I have many cycling friends out there. I know that there are some members in WUE who are committed to cycling, and I want to say, keep it up. It's such a beautiful and healthy way to move forward with our lives. Here is a mural that I did over the last year, and this was done in 2021 actually, and this is here in my community in the Bronx. And this doing artwork definitely heals my soul or nurtures my soul. I can lose myself in it's one of my ways of meditating. You know, we are well aware that meditation is just not sitting in one place and being quiet as such. You can meditate as you participate in one of your soulful activities. So I just wanted to share this image. Let's go to the next slide. Here is another soulful activity of mine, not one that I have shared so much in my later years, but sewing. Sewing and fashion was actually my first passion. I started my business in fashion design when I was still in high school at the age of 14. And I did that for the next 10 years. And my goal was to be a fashion designer. I was inspired by Carl Kanai back in the 80s and 90s. And that was my inspiration leading into being a fashion designer and so on. And I still do it from time to time for myself and for friends, but it always nurtures my soul. Let's go to the next slide, please. And this is more of my current activities here with the group of seniors every week. And I'm actually doing it today. Tuesday is my day of working with the seniors and leading what I call a paint therapy activity. And as Sister Teresa shared earlier in the session, that this is an activity can definitely connect you more with your soulful purpose. And I'm a traveling healer. For the last 2 years, I've been traveling around New York City, sharing my artistic abilities in the form of art therapy with seniors throughout New York City. And then on the left, you see me here on my trip last year to Sedona. And this place was absolutely, I felt connected with my spirit. On my journey to Sedona, I also stopped in the city of Joshua Tree. And that was also, I also had some great soulful connections there. My belief is that in Sedona, in Arizona, you're much closer to nature. If you look in the background, you can see the hills and the mountains in the background. And if I was taking that picture here in New York City, it would be human development, buildings and construction everywhere. But in Sedona, I had the ability to actually feel my spirit and my soul. And with that, I'm not sure if I have another slide. Is there another picture there? Okay, no.
John, I wanted to jump in and share. So
Okay.
folks, as John is sharing about his picture in Sedona, I want to share that, yes, Spirit and Soul is here in Sedona, in Arizona, that I actually moved from New York to Arizona because I felt that when I came here 2 years ago, and I just did the transition a couple of months. So I'm still new in my space, learning all about how to get around, but it's been such a joy. And once again, mind, body, and spirit is aligned. I'm like super excited. Everyone have been seeing some of my pictures online, have been saying how much I am glowing and just enjoying seeing the sun. I came here because I like the sun. That's another one. But yeah, seeing the sunsets, it's so beautiful. It's you can't express or describe how beautiful they are. It's just something that you have to see in person. So you guys got to come down to Arizona.
Absolutely. And yes, we've shared with you some of our soulful activities, but there are so many ways that each one of us individually have our own unique way of connecting with our soul's desires. And here in WUE, we have over the years, the last 2 years, going into 3 years now, we have been blessed with so many teachers who have presented us with so many activities of mindfulness and self-awareness that we can connect with at any given time. And we are going to challenge you with several of the soulful activities and mindfulness awareness activities that we have been taught and have brought awareness to in our WUE sessions over the last couple of years. I'd like to challenge you to take on a new form of activities, a new form of soulful activity this year. Take up something new. You're always growing. As Florence shared with us, it's always continuing. It's always evolving. So be mindful and take up another activity and share with us what activity that you will be taking up. You can share it. You can start this conversation in the Facebook chat. As we move forward, I am going to share with you a meditation, a 7 to 10 minute meditation I'll share with you this morning. But we have learned so much and gained so much from this conversation. And Florence, I hope that you have found some of the ways and approach that you can move through the challenges of feeling connected to your soul desires. I want to mention that it's important to note that it can be very difficult to distinguish between ego desires and soul desires, and that the line between them is not always clear cut. This is why a regular practice and reflection and mindfulness practices can help you gain a better understanding of which desires and motivations come from ego and which come from the soul. And you'll be able to discern between the two. Okay, family, let's move into our meditation. And if you can start the music, thank you. Begin by finding a comfortable seated position. A quiet place where you can be still and not be disturbed for at least about 10 minutes. Take a deep breath in through your nose and exhale through your mouth. Deep breath in. Hold it and release. I'm going to do this a couple times. Deep breath in. Hold it and release. One more time. A deep breath in through your nose. Hold it and exhale through your mouth. At this time, I'd like you to soften your eyelids and let your eyes flicker to a close. Or you can choose to keep a soft gaze. Bring your focus to the breath. Allow your breath to become slow and steady. Focus on the sensations of cool air As you inhale, the air moving through your nostrils, and the warm air as you exhale through your mouth. Imagine a white light surrounding you. Allow this light to fill your body with a sense of peace and tranquility. Bring your mind to your current desires. Notice the thoughts and feelings that arises as you think about them. Ask yourself, are these desires coming from my ego, or are they coming from my soul? If they are coming from ego, release them and let them go. Again, I want you to bring your mind to your deepest desires, the ones that are truly aligned with your values and purpose in life. Feel the emotions that arise as you focus on these desires. Imagine yourself taking forward steps to these desires. Visualize the actions you can take to manifest them into reality. I want you to repeat this phrase to yourself. I am aligned with my soul's desires. I am aligned with my soul's deepest desires. And repeat it to yourself several times. I am aligned with my soul's deepest desires. I am aligned with my soul's deepest desires. You can create a habit and several times throughout your day, repeat this phrase to yourself. I am aligned with my soul's deepest desires. You need to slowly bring your consciousness back to the Zoom space and slowly open your eyes. And take a deep breath in, hold it, and release. After this meditation, you can take a moment to journal about your experience and the insight you gained during the meditation. Remember, aligning with your soul's desires is a journey, and this meditation is a small step towards the manifestation of it. Continue to practice mindfulness on a regular basis, and soon you'll be able to see the changes in your life. The goal is to be authentically you with all your imperfections. You are perfectly imperfect and unique. You can now pause the music. And I'm going to invite our community here, our WUE family, to share what may have come up for you during that meditation. And we can take another maybe a couple minutes to share. I see we have Teresa with a hand raised. Teresa, could you bless us with your share, please?
I have to laugh, John, because all of a sudden, you know, if you're a little when you're a little kid, you was jumping on the bed. I just saw myself jumping on the bed with my grandkids just laughing, and and it just came to me a playroom. I was like, oh my God, it was like it made me so happy because with me having, with me used to having, I'm believing for a total healing is that my legs wasn't working properly, but to actually see myself jumping, I gotta let you see my face. To actually see me jumping on the bed, oh my God, I was on the bed like a little kid jumping up and down. It was beautiful. Thank you so much for this. Oh my goodness, I can't wait to do that. Thank you so much.
That's so beautiful, Teresa. Thank you for your share. And it tickles me, it brings me joy
Yes,
for you to see yourself working through your life
yes,
challenges. You know, you see yourself
yes.
jumping on a bed and visualizing yourself as a little child. You know, that is beautiful.
I was a big grown woman jumping on the bed. I wasn't even a little kid. I was a big grown woman jumping on the bed. But it brought me so much joy. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I love it.
You're so welcome, Teresa. If there are any shares in the chat and any final comments, we invite you to share now.
Yeah, so Zakia just put hearts up for you, Teresa, and what you shared. Adam said, jumping on the bed. Whoa, wee, or wow, wee. Let's jump together, family. And Phyllis, I've been doing pottery, and that is what helps me with my soul desires. So John also asked if anyone else wants to share about the impact of doing the guided meditation. So if someone else would like to share, please raise your digital hand or drop it in the chat. And Facebook family, if you're out there, would love to hear from you more this morning. You've been kind of quiet. But anyone in the space want to share about the impact of the guided meditation in addition to Teresa, that would be great. And in one and a ting, I see another chat. Share, I have to release isolation and connect with other people. Yes, Phyllis. Yes. We are here to be with each other for sure. All righty. So John Carl and Shanaleigh, if y'all are ready to move forward.
Yeah.
It's been an amazing experience. I'm going to put up the slides for us to close out. And you are up first with your special offer, Shanaleigh. So let me add this and hear what you have to share about how we can tap in.
Okay, community. So my special offer is a continuation of today about the dancing and stretching. So I would like to have you all come and join me on Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern time. And we are going to do some stretching and affirmation together. There is a flyer that you can take the picture of at the next slide, and it has the Zoom information on there. Just come on in and I put it in the WUE space as well. But you can take a picture and just come on in and join me in doing some stretching affirmation, because we got to get the body moving for the new year. And my information is also in the chat. So you can reach me at Facebook at Shanaleigh Mejia, or you can also email me at Shanaleigh Mejia, Shanaleigh424@gmail.com. Yes, Adam, I saw your article last week about movement on Saturday. Self is a part of self-care, everybody.
And for my special offer, I'm going to choose one participant who will receive 1 hour of complimentary consultation around or on energy of alignment. And you can email, the first person to email me at johncarlmartin@gmail.com would win this complimentary session. And winner has 30 days to claim their prize. And I also want to say, in addition, I'm going to do something a little special here. I want to invite Florence to email me. I'm going to offer you this consultation complimentary, in addition to a second person who will receive the gift. And how you can find me. I am represented by my 3 companies, John Carl Martin, Happy Island Books, and J. Martin Designs. Happy Island Books is my book company, my publishing company. I write a series of children's books to help keep your children, your little toddlers, in alignment. You can find those books at happyislandbooks.com. I'm also on Instagram with the 3 handles, J. Martin Designs, Happy Island Books, and John Carl Martin. And like I said, you can email, you can find me by email, or you can connect with me by emailing johncarlmartin@gmail.com. Thank you. And for our special offering, our love offering and donations, you can send your offerings by Zelle or QuickPay to soulleadershipdevelopment@gmail.com, or you can send your love offering by Cash App, $Spirit of a Woman, and you will see a hashtag posted in the chat. You can click on that hashtag and it will take you directly to a link where you can then submit your offering, and use the code 763-SOUL, SOUL, code 763-SOUL. We also have monthly offerings and donations where you can submit a monthly offering, and you can do this. This is automated, so you only have to click and set this up once, I believe. You can click the link in the chat for your $25 a month offering, for your $50 a month, $75 up to $100 a month. And we appreciate your offerings here on WUE, not just as a facilitator, but also as an admin. It helps to keep our community going. And again, everyone, remember that money, my own natural energy yields. The more you give, the more you will receive. Thank you so much.
Okay, up next, we have my sister, Miss Amelia Blake. She will be talking about the non-negotiable of your greatest yet to be, following by Coach Cheryl. On Thursday, January 19th, she's going to be discussing self-love, new year, who dis? Can't wait to hear those 2 topics.
All righty. So thank you, John, Carl, and Shanaleigh for just this fantastic offering, this soul searching and generating experience, and also ego exploration, because our egos have contributed to us remaining alive. They're part of our defense and they serve a purpose, and we want to have balance. So thank you for this enlightening session. We want to acknowledge those who are coming for the first time into the space to witness and co-create with us. We're here and committed to learning, elevating, and ascending. So please come back, please return so that you can continue the journey with us, and we'll tell you how to do that. We have a schedule Sunday through Thursday that we honor. Today is Tuesday, and so we have a longer session. So Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday, we have a 90-minute session. Sometimes it goes longer, like today, and it's all good because it's more nourishment. So 7 to 8:30 a.m. And then on Mondays and Wednesdays, we have a shorter session, but it's potent, powerful, and generative as well. And that's from 7 to 7:30. All of our sessions begin at 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So keep that in mind. However long they are, it's always 7 a.m. And if you want to receive alerts, reminders so that you can get up and participate, you can put in your phone as a text the number 74121. And then when you get in the text box, type out WUE Nation in all caps, and you'll automatically receive reminders to come into the space. And we have WUE swag, leggings, candles, tea, coffee cups, hats, because it's still winter time. And depending on where you are in the country, you might need to cover your head and keep your soul protected, right? Because our heads are a conduit for spiritual reception and emotional energy exchange. Water bottles, t-shirts, sweatshirts, so journals, so that you can capture what you're learning in the WUE space and what you're manifesting in the world. So please, for 2023, invest in WUE swag and invest in the WUE Nation. All those links are in the chat. We want to thank you for your participation. We invite you to stay in touch literally and figuratively. The other night, when was it? Sunday night, some of the WUEsters, the WUE family members, were partying together in Brooklyn in celebration of Coach Mika's birthday. And so we stayed in touch in that way. And there are ways to stay in touch energetically. And of course, coming to the sessions. These are all the ways that you can reach out to us and be part of the conversation. We're dropping these links in the chat and in Facebook, so you can click on them, register for this week's sessions for the rest of the week, and be connected and in communication with us, because we love one another and we want to keep growing. So thank you for being here. And we're going to do what we customarily do in the WUE Nation, which is to celebrate our facilitators by engaging in a love shower. And we love doing this because we are deserving of all the love and nourishment when we lead and share ourselves with community. So I'm going to ask that we unmute, family, and that we pour it on Shanaleigh and John Carl so they can feel it. So please, let's do this. Let's do this.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you,
John Paul.
Thank you,
Wonderful. I wish I could have seen all the videos, but I saw
Thank
one.
you so much.
Yes, that was beautiful.
That smile. Sharing
It
your
was
Thank you
amazing,
so much.
amazing.
Powerful.
Thank y'all so much. Love y'all.
Glad I got
Can't wait.
you. We love
Love
you. We love
Adam.
you.
Love
We
y'all.
love
Hey,
yeah.
love y'all. Good to see
Thank
your
you so much.
faces. Thank you,
May you
Movement
receive
Team.
all
Y'all
you
rock.
offer. Yes.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Wicked family.
Let's continue to move. Let's continue to take care of ourselves.
Love y'all so
That's all we got,
much.
y'all.
Daddy, love
Thank
you.
you,
We
admin
appreciate
team.
you.
Y'all
Look at us.
rock.
Y'all.
Yes,
Guys
yes,
are on
yes.
fire.
I love y'all.
John.
Y'all got my
Yeah.
soul lit on fire. Thank y'all.
Thank you.
It's amazing.
Thank you.
Woo. Woo.
God bless
Have a
you
great
all.
one.
God bless y'all
Love
too.
y'all.
Thank
Have a
you.
great day.
Have a great day.
Love y'all. Mwah.
Love you all too. Peace and blessings, everybody.
Peace and blessings, beautiful
Same to
family.
you, dear.